Every pirate ship needs a crow's nest. Now, we're not building a pirate ship, but we still think we need one, and I'll explain to you why. My name is Gijs, and this is my dad. And this is Schoener Tijgerhaai. 2 years ago, we started a major rebuild to get ready for new adventures, and we're sharing the process with you. Subscribe to stay tuned. We are not going to install a crow's nest in the traditional sense. Or maybe we are, but not like the ones that come to mind when you think of a pirate ship. A round barrel strapped on top or around the top part of the mast. Leaving the golden age of pirates behind and making a small leap forward in history to 1925, when the schooner John R. Manta set sail on the last known whaling voyage by a sailing ship. Whaling ships also had a crow's nest, for a lookout to spot whales of course. But American whalers in the 19th and 20th century, like the schooner John R. Manta and the bark Wanderer, never carried full barrel style crow's nests. It is a bit hard to see on these old pictures, but the lookout usually just stood in open iron or wooden hoops, lashed to the masthead. This simple and sleek design has multiple advantages for us. First, we don't have space for a barrel around the mast, because of lines and blocks and all that stuff. It's also a bit less conspicuous. We think a barrel around the mast would look a bit silly. But why do we think we need a crow's nest in the first place? It can be very convenient for lookout purposes, in terms of navigation, to spot a floating iceberg or the passage between coral reefs, but also for fun, to spot whales. Not necessarily to hunt them. For maintenance, it is very convenient to have a place to stand comfortably with both your hands free. For instance, to replace blocks, tension stays, or replace the light bulb of the navigational top light. Right now, we have the whole staging up there, but that cannot stay. In the main mast, you can stand kind of comfortable on the platform of the navigational lights if you have to do something up there. But the foremast doesn't have that. So we're making 2 hoops out of 3/4 inch pipe. We had installed temporary forestays to keep the mast upright while we replaced the stays and furlers for the foresails. But then we decided that an extra set of stays would probably come in handy for instance a storm jib or a Genoa jib, without having to remove a sail from one of the furlers. However, where the double extra forestay was nicely positioned in between the 2 old stays, it now looks terrible because the new inner stay is attached higher on the mast. Apart from looking bad, it also means that the forestay sail will touch one of the extra stays, leading to chafing and wear, which we don't want. We do want to keep the extra double stay, so we're gonna get some longer ones attached to the mast at the higher point, between the inner and outer stay. The temporary ones that we used are pretty rusty anyways, so we're putting on new, longer stainless steel ones. We do need a couple new extra eyes in the top of the mast though. Having the hanging staging up there makes working on 20 meters high a lot easier. With the eyes in place, we can install the hoops for the crow's nest. The foot platforms are as big as possible without being in the way of lines or sails, which is not very big, but just enough for 2 feet. The The new crow's nest straight away comes in very handy to replace the extra stays. It looks a lot better now, without stays crossing each other's path from the side view. In the previous video we installed a wood stove in the middle of the saloon, but we didn't get to the chimney pipe yet. A long time ago there used to be a gas heater installed, with the pipe running through the deck right above where we installed the wood stove. So where the deck was welded shut, we can just cut along the line of the old weld for a new chimney. Around that hole, just next to the main sail sheet winch, we're installing a pretty high water barrier. This will also be the outer wall of the double-walled chimney pipe, with insulation in between, so it should not get too warm. To keep any smoke away from the deck and to have more updraft in the pipe, we are extending the chimney pipe with a stainless steel double-walled pipe that we found at the scrapyard. It has lost its nice new stainless look, so we're gonna give it a bit of paint to look nice. Of course, it needs to be strapped down firmly, because the ship will be rolling. Now that we have the outer pipe installed, the inner pipe can be shoved in place. We didn't have any parts for the top, so I ordered a new stainless hood, which we are not going to paint because it will probably become a bit black anyways. Inside, right on top of the stove, we're installing an extra wood smoke filter. This particular type has a catalytic converter inside, like the ones on a car. It should cause a cleaner burn, with less smoke and less smell. So we'll see how that turns out. Anyways, I did give everything a new coat of temperature resistant paint, and the guardrail can finally be installed. All that's left now is the door and the ashtray of the stove. and with a bit of paint, everything looks the part. We are working on a lot of other jobs in the meantime, like the skylight and the hot and cold freshwater system. But those jobs got interrupted by the fact that this old shipyard has been sold. The new owner is not kicking us off, but all the old buildings will be demolished to make space for new, and that includes our shed and workshop. So we have been busy cleaning out and throwing away years and years of collected stuff for the past weeks. The other jobs will probably be finished by the next video. But this is all for now. If you have any questions or remarks, please let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.